consistently are seeing these first picks, you know, be a little bit hit or miss on terms of influence and how impactful they can really be.
All right. Bans look very
same
similar
band.
here for a
We're
BLG.
just sticking the same.
So this has to be Poppy, right? And then what's the response? If we're going to trade Pantheon, are we going to be looking for the Varus? We are in game number 4. I think you're fine with that, though, because think about what the last couple mid laners here available for our Scout. You have, what, Yone? You have an Ahri and a Victor. In terms of mages, not a lot there available to him. So
this was
maybe
something
even opening
that
up for a
BLG
Silas.
was terrified about. I gotta say, they banned it away from him last time. They've actually put a lot of pressure on Peyz's champ pool in the first couple games of draft as well, and he will go with the first pick Varus.
So BLG, what is our response? I cannot imagine this is going to be a Ziggs blind. Ziggs has started to gain a lot of priority to get some buffs, but I'd be confused. I'd be surprised and color me shocked. It is going to be the blind Ziggs, potentially going to be bottom lane, probably like a light purple. I don't know why.
Okay, all right, I like that. I like that. It's the Leona here. I could see it go bot lane as well, you know, or the mid lane, depending on what gets set up. And there's the purple.
Whoa!
The green.
Whoa!
There you go. There's the purple. We got the purple people eater over here. As we'll see exactly what JDG's response is going to be to kind of tie together this first phase of the draft themselves. Go with the Maokai, and that's looking really dangerous right now. As they also get Scouts Yoda. This is literally what his bread and butter is built on. He goes early game, he gets half an item, a full item, he yeets himself off to the far, far away land and side lane, and then he comes back and wins the game. So maybe this is the setup for JDG.
This is a great way to be able to punish the Ziggs. I think this should be on hit Varus. I know you're not going to have a lot of range into the Ziggs, but having those tank stats, having something like a Terminus to be able to help hit against a Leona and potentially now a Tristana here, we're getting some really interesting compositions. Now, I don't think this is going to be Ziggs mid, but Knight has been a legendary Tristana mid in years past. So, but imagine this is going over to Alk, as he has already played a couple of games of this champion so far this year. And
we do see the Tristana kind of picked into the Yone at times just to have that counter pressure there themselves. As we're in the second phase, we get the Mordekaiser ban away from Xiaoxu, just in case he was willing to go with anything a little bit finicky. But we'll see what JDG's ban priorities are going to be here.
JDG probably just going to get rid of tanks, honestly, because the Mordekaiser to me screams that we're going to be playing something like a Scion, and with BLG having first pick after the bans, that is going to be the most important part of this. Wow, Silas, man, they don't know. I don't know where.
Jungle?
Silas Jungle is very fake. I'm sorry. You and Rafa have been trying to espouse the poison in my ear.
Why else would you ban this?
Because I think that JDG, they're getting into bad old habits here, Lennon. The clear love of 2025 split 3 is coming back to haunt me.
Oh, there's the Blitzcrank ban towards Wobo.
Why? They have a Leona. And you can buffer it with Tristana. What the hell is this? Both of these teams. Where's my belt, bro? This can't happen again. This can't happen again. Please, don't do this to me. Well, we're gonna get in the second phase here, Lennon. I would hope that this is gonna be the. I thought it was gonna be the Scion. It's gonna be Poppy. No way we're getting Beichuan with Ivern. I refuse it. I refute it.
He's gone away and come back a grown man.
Thank you. Like I said, give me the Scion. It's what we were calling for.
One of these teams is going to get this OP pick. I would love to see BLG do it just so we can potentially have that game 5 on our hands, because right now they have a very stalwart comp from BLG. They have all the bombs you could ever ask in the front line that you need. Okay, so on hit Varus, Yone in a side lane. It's actually potentially going to be Maokai in another lane. This could be Scion versus Sejuani top. Flandra has been a big invader of the Sejuani top. The Aatrox, however, the Sejuani jungle.
Zhuo on Maokai. This laning phase is gonna suck for JDG. This is terrible to play.
That. Oh! Morgana jungle! Beichuan! Look at him. He's ready. He is locked in. He is locked in. Clocked into the locked in factory is Beichuan right now.
Morgana jungle. I gotta know, because Cubby's one of our biggest Morgana jungle lovers, and anything that isn't just a normal tank, Mark is gonna love. But
dude, we wanted the spice and we got it.
I think one of the original innovators of like AP junglers. He was one of his first couple like series. I think he brought out Echo. He's one of the first people to bring that champion in. Loves the Karthus. I think you get a ton of value here this game. Who's breaking a black shield in this game versus the Nature's Grasp of the Maokai? This could be a very innovative draft coming on through for BLG, and I don't know,
Cooked
Lennon.
or cooked? Which one? Because I gotta say, JDG's comp looks damn good. All right,
Oh, yeah?
like that is like a standard draft comp right there.
For
from
you,
their side.
you're like, damn, I get to see Sejuani Yone. If this was like 6 months ago, you would have walked off the broadcast. You'd have been like, yeah. I remember all those Mazel casts of saying, ah, man, Yone Sejuani, I guess the game's over.
Easy peasy. Hey, it was a ticket to success, but BLG definitely trying to cook a little bit here. They brought Beituan back in. He's restarting this composition. He's restarting this team right now and trying to do it all in the Morgana jungle.
This is a very, very good Morgana jungle. I want to see. Morgana jungle did get changed a couple patches ago, just giving her a little bit more ability to clear through the miniway or clear through the jungle. And I mean, she is incredibly strong, levels 1 through 18. Just like, you don't have a ton of skirmishing power, so we'll see what JDG can do to get done early.
Well, we're getting into game 4 now. BLG still with their backs against the wall, but JDG, they're back on blue side. Can they finish them here?
敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎他。
All right, well, we get into it now. I'm surprised Peyz gets the Varus. I'm going to be very curious. And it is Arcane Comet Varus, so he's not actually going to go the on-hit style.
The on-hit style, I think, definitely got worse with the addition of a Morgana in this game. I don't want to get into range of that champion. But Varus priority has just dropped in general. Especially with Fearless. As we've gotten throughout the year, Varus went from basically pick ban on blue side to now it's more likely you're going to probably see it in games 2 through 4. So glad to see that we're getting it towards the end of this series, but what I need to see from JDG is, can we withstand some of the laning phase here? Because this bottom lane is not going to be very fun. It is actually Tristana here for Knight. I know we were kind of talking about whether or not we were going to get that flex. I think it makes the bottom lane a little easier, but lets Knight be a lot more impressive versus Scout.
And now they just have this incredible damage combo between the Tristana and the Ziggs. As On goes in on the bot side, unfortunately the bomb will miss a little bit. They're going to have to pop the heal. Decent amount of damage back from JDG, but I gotta say, I mean, Alk is obviously pretty good Ziggs, but first time this competitive split, at least, in split number 3 that we've seen this from him, but he's trying to just be that artillery to fire from this very tanky front line, and that's something we got to talk about for BLG is they get so incredibly scary around these objectives. And I know that's a long way away, but it's terrifying.
They're going to have a lot of range, like you're mentioning. Tristana with the draw beat passive. Ziggs and Morgana are going to just throw down a bunch of spells down range and then just wait for their cooldowns. They have a lot of frontline to be able to build and let Tristana be essentially the carry for this team. Knight has to be the 1v9er on this squad. 11,000. Oh my god.
1,108 days since the last time, and it was, of course, JDG's Kanavi back in the era of TES versus JDG. Knight knowing that one all too well, and Knight knowing Scout's angles all too well here. As Scout goes too far forward, the flash play, and Knight outplays him again. Another solo bolo.
This is exactly why they needed to give him this matchup.
He's smiling. Look at him.
Yeah, he gets the TP back in. Scout will get some of this wave at the very least. But what has been the big problem for JDG throughout the year? It's been Scout, man. Scout in the laning phase. If he can make it through, he can be a big influence in team fights, but Knight has been the better player in all aspects all year long versus his opponent.
It's terrifying to already give that kind of strength over to Knight. The flash outplay there from Scout. I know Scout's on his comfort, but something happened after game number 2, because, I mean, this guy was performing so well game number 1 in that supportive role. Game number 2, a little bit more carry-oriented, and then what happened in Talia. He dropped off the cliff that Talia built, and now already down. Still the Yone. First item spike's going to be strong, but moving forward, you got to keep an eye on that mid lane, how it's impacted, as both junglers going to get their resets off.
He got a kill, and he's an entire wave up. That is disgusting for the mid matchup.
Yeah.
Half a level, and he's going to be a lot richer than his opponent. Already has a slingshot, so good start here. Beitron got an uninterrupted full clear and has the Faded Ashes. I think that things are already starting to go well for BLG early in this game, and we have a Scion in the game. Not that it changed whether or not we were going to get a swap, but definitely helps.
It definitely helps in that way, as we already have Elk up towards top, although they're going to get the flash play over Bin. Bin getting stacked up, going to flash out of the piercing arrow with the blight stacks. Could have ended his life. He will not have his TP back, so they will just keep the lane states as they are, and the 2v1s on both sides of the map as Wolf tries to reset, and Peyz will too.
If Bin doesn't miss out on this entire wave, it's much better.
Oh,
Xiaoxu's
Xiaoxu,
dead.
you can't die. He's down 300 health. Elk's going to try to chase him down the CC chain. He's going to flash away from the bomb. Is it enough? On's going to flash over the chains. He's trying to lock him down one more time, and that's going to be a big side lane kill as BLG are up 2.
And look at how disheveled JDG look. They're now moving their bottom lane into the top. Oh, this is the wrong pen color, whatever. They are trying to move their bottom lane in topside now. Sion's getting this wave for free to bounce him back into this game. This is an amazing start for, and look at Beitron. He just gets to take this for free.
He's just pressuring it on. It's going to flash over. Okay, On went a little bit hand there as now Scout has arrived. He's level 5. Not going to have the big combo just yet, but BLG are trying to find their escape path. The lockdown coming through as they're going to be able to follow this through. The explosive charge on Shun is going to back them away, though. They don't end up getting what they wanted. A couple summoner spells burned on either side.
Oh my god, this is just, like, no kills go over, but that is the lack of damage from JDG. If Scout was able to have access to that wave, maybe he's a little closer to having level 6. Obviously, Knight isn't quite there yet, but a man can dream right now. And I mean, BLG, 1,500 gold up at 6 minutes. That is a really, really impressive start.
And it's not in just one place, right? We're seeing it actually across. I mean, majorly through the carries in Knight and Elk, but there's something to deal with. Now, Scout is level 6, but he is going to find On at his lane. He's going to be able to get out of there with that extra Q3, and that will just be the exit strategy for JDG's mid lane. Look in top lane, maybe they get something.
Yeah. I think top lane is very fake. Beitron gets to take this incredibly quickly. We have a minute and a half before the Grubs, and there's no contest from JDG. Shun's going to try and get level 6, but by the time he finishes this, the Dragon's already going to go over, and Beitron will have ultimate ready for that next objective fight.
Some impressive stuff from the jungle with the Morgana. And that might be one of the, I know it's only 7 minutes in, as the Dragon going down super early compared to the last game we had. 2v2 in the top side. Mega Inferno Bomb going to be popped. Alk steps up now without much mana here. Peyz is going to try to get him back with a little Blight Stack Piercing Arrow combo. Going to do a decent chunk, get him down to about 300 health. So take a look at 3 champions that BLG has not played so far this split.
And if you combine Bin and On's record, they're even. They're 50% win rate.
Ooh, there you go. So results-based analysis, right back to it.
There you go. I remember that play on bottom side where Peyz tried to kill Bin and they never found that fight? Well, now we're 30 seconds away from Grubs. There's no flash here for Peyz. He's going to have to use his cleanse, and Bin can always move, even with a TP disadvantage, because he has the unstoppable onslaught. I want to see BLG contest for this objective. You have so many powerful buttons coming into this fight that I have to imagine that it is very hard for you to lose this fight.
Yeah, as long as you're point in place, you set up that front line. Again, that's what we talked so much about for BLG around these fights. Will be that deploy up towards the top side for JDG's Peyz, as he's trying to keep a little bit of pressure up there, and the rest of JDG are up here too, so we got about 4 members up here. TP not available for either top laner, definitely coming up sooner for Bin, but it seems like JDG are actually willing to contest this potentially.
Gotta wait. Scout's gonna have to push on through mid, doesn't have Q3, he's gonna be late. This is probably just gonna be 2 Grubs for BLG at the very least, and see if JDG tries to squeeze them on the exit.
Oh, they absolutely just take all 3 as, okay, Stuo step up here. That's all of them going down, and unfortunately, Shun just gets locked down. Scout just decides he wants to try to go forward. Shun held that Glacial Prison, didn't want to go with the trigger pull, and that'll be 3 Grubs going the way to BLG.
This Morgana is going to become a monster. Already 20 CS, that's 5 camps over her opponent.
Crazy.
Beitron is putting on the carry pants, and Remember, we were talking about Beichuan as if he was maybe the worst part of BLG going into the year. We were like, okay, split 2, we have Beichuan for some reason.
Is
like,
this who
this
saves
guy,
the team? That's the
is this
question.
who saves the team? They make top 2 in that year, or in that split. They go to MSI, and for all of his misgivings, I think Beichuan had to do a very unceremonious and often thankless job of trying to get this team to work together. Obviously, things still haven't been great. We're here in Game 4 here of BLG, and I just see Beichuan is performing.
Yeah, and that's the craziest part is you get subbed in Game 2. It didn't go well. Stuck around, right? And we're able to find that as now the all-in. Scout wants his own solo bolo against Knight. He's trying to predict the damage here as Knight's going to burn his flash. The sapling was coming right behind him. But JDG try to make a play on top side. BLG still holding strong.
A flash on Knight is not super impactful, but maybe this kill on the Xiaoxu gets them the turret as well.
Could be very impactful. I'd say at this point, if they do get this side lane kill on the Xiaoxu, they're going to pop everything here. Even the Mega Inferno bomb over the top with the alley-oop for Elk.
Let's get a plate here for Bin. 3 grubs. Beichuan is doing, honestly, God's work here at this point. The Ziggs as well, just being able to give them that reach across the map. 2-0 start, and it was a little questionable here for Elk. JDG, they're starting to feel lost. We're starting to see whether or not they can actually win with Xiaoxu in a worse position. This Aatrox can be very dangerous, but there's a lot of damage and a lot of ways for them to stop him on BLG's composition.
That's the hardest thing is I don't see a real easy entrance into these fights as they go on, and we do have first items coming up across the board. First and foremost, 2 of them completed for BLG, where we have the Leandries for Beichuan, and we also have that Ludens there for Elk for the extra poke damage.
How do you play for the next few minutes as JDG?
Right?
Because Peyz is going to finish what looks to be a Youmuu's, and usually these lethality items are gated around having more upfront power, but usually cheaper. You're not even level 6 yet on Dwo. Like, we got to get the ball moving here if you're JDG. You do not want to get into a long game versus Tristana and Ziggs, and now a Morgana jungle.
The artillery will be there, as that's never something you want to see as time goes on itself. And BLG, they don't seem like they want to spend too much time on this version of Summoner's Rift, as they're going to continue to put pressure on around the map. They're going to target Xiaoxu, who's going to get the TP play out of Dwo with that spell book. He will arrive, kind of pushing off BLG. He doesn't have much health, and he's not even level 6 yet. So I don't know how really strong this defense is going to be against the Tristana and Ziggs, the destruction combo here. Should be able to use the satchel charge here soon to take it down, and that's going to be the turret gone. That's feats completed for BLG, and almost killing JDG on the exit.
Keep going. They're not matching here from JDG. Xiaoxu has no TP. Scout is trying to take this. This is going to be 2 turrets, and this is the kind of play you want to see. Tristana, Ziggs, 3 grubs, finish out these structures, and they have a dragon they can take afterwards.
Oh, on? Okay. Well, he did have to burn the flash there. They will get a second one with the satchel charge, so Ziggs doing his job at this point. Elk 2-0 with a massive lead on the Ziggs. JDG just trying to scoop up as much as they can in the jungle as BLG take the Krugs. Beichuan's having an incredible performance on this Morgana so far. He's barely not able to make it out. This is their own teammate. Chill. Beichuan says no, and that's going to be the kill tonight.
I just don't understand
Scout.
it. Maybe this is just
desperate.
to stop them, Scout.
Desperate. Oh my God, what am I watching? That is desperation to a T, and there's no T in desperation.
Please,
and they do end up getting the kill back, at least onto On, but that's all they got.
And then Dwo steals the kill from Peyz. Bin he picked up the wave in mid versus Peyz, so Peyz couldn't push the wave. Then he moves in topside. No one's matching him. All in all, BLG have exploded this gold lead from about 1,000, 1,500 to 4,000, and it's going to feel even worse than that, Mazel. Because Bin's been getting solo experience, and JDG got absolutely nothing done during this play.
I'm the Hopium Emporium kind of guy, right? But is there any way we can petition to just go to Game 5? I just want to hear Silver Scrapes, and we all know that that's where this is going. But already a massive lead for BLG so early into the game. 5,000 gold up, less than 14 minutes, and turret plates haven't even fallen yet. And we are going to see now them try to move some of that pressure around the map. They've already redeployed Elk towards this mid lane, try to take down potentially one more plate. Looks like it's not going to be the case. We are signaling a little bit of push on top side by JDG. There is a dragon on the other side of the map that BLG could take.
What are these lane allocations? What, like, BLG are just losing or winning the map because JDG don't know where they want to go. Knight's going to get these 2 waves. We are sharing 3 waves on mid with 3 people. What is going on? BLG have gotten so much gold and experience for themselves in the last few moments. Not just those 2 turrets on bottom side. No dragon being taken either, so Bin can just stay here. If anything, he shuffles mid, takes control, allows for his team to take this objective. Lennon, I have to say, I think that JDG, we talked about it in game number 1, that their map play wasn't very clean, but that they're just outplaying their opponents. We're now starting to see that come to fruition.
Oh my.
The
auto attack goes through after the twisted advance. And Elk will take the kill in the end. Yeah, just yeah, whatever you want to write there, go ahead. As that might be the signal. It's almost 15 minutes, Alk. They're very close. But it is going to be the dragon going to BLG. That'll be second dragon going their way. No bounties to claim for JDG, not even close to contesting this one. And it is just a slippery, slippery slope that BLG are forcing JDG to run down.
Now, Maokai can be a very oppressive champion in competitive. I mean, his entire kit, I think, is built for this level of play and how people tend to move around the map. But because of Aftershock no longer being the preferred rune, he has a lot less tankiness than, you know, things like the Leona. And that's why we've seen Maokai and Nautilus kind of fall out of favor in support. A lot of stats taken out of Maokai last year especially. But now look at this. JDG, we are 4 people on mid for no reason. Bin took a top lane tier 1. Tristana is still in the side lane. Sure, man. Cool. Nice game.
The Rift Herald is going to be started up by Scout here. Bin's going to be over here. They're going to TP in as well. Scout's already about half health. He's getting chunked by the Rift Herald. And now BLG are in full force here. They immediately punish the TP from Xiaoxu, and they're going to punish it hard. Xiaoxu's going to get bopped into the fight. He's still alive, though. He's pretty tanky. Twilk tries to find an engage. Scout goes in. Go over the top. He goes with the Fade Seal. He's trying to kill Knight, but it's not enough damage. Knight survive, and BLG turn, and they absolutely decimate JDG. Peyz will finally find a kill, and it's on tonight. That's all good and well, but it's BLG with a monumental lead in this game.
Let's get ourselves the Herald. Let's just call this one a wrap. Let's, like you were saying, Mazel, bring me the Chinese silver scrapes. Let's just get this one over with. A very dominant games, 3 and 4 here for BLG. Maybe playing with house money, maybe still trying to calibrate going into playoffs, but we're going to see these 2 teams send us to 5 as we get into this replay. No defense here from the team. There's no ability for this. The Maokai ult only lands on the 2 members, but with the verdant barrier that Elk has and the black shield from Beichuan, it is impossible for JDG to step up. This Morgana champion is getting a lot of value, and just the individuals from BLG, I think, executing really, really well here in this game.
Dude, and Beichuan now, I mean, this is nice. A little fancy kill from Peyz, but I mean, the first game he came in, he was playing Facilitator, and it looked awful. It looked terrible. I mean, he's played Nocturne and now Morgana, and he's just having so much fun, it feels like, on the rip, but it's also looking damn good, and I think we're seeing that return to form that Beichuan brought a lot of positivity and hope to BLG when he came onto the roster after we started seeing him perform, and then some of the moments that we didn't see him.
Maybe it truly was just drafted. Maybe it was just the drafts were too dog water. We were calling for the heads of BLG coaching staff to get us some playable drafts. Let's get some games to play. But now it seems like we're doing a little bit better. Obviously, this Morgana coming on through in the last part of the draft, really rounding out this composition, and just talk about how flexible this team can be when they are playing at their peak, right? For BLG, we're having Elk play a Ziggs 5-0 and 3. We're having Tristana for Knight. It feels like, what can Knight not really play aside from maybe a Seer?
Yeah, and Elk is putting on a wonder star performance on the Ziggs right now. He is just doing so much work in these fights. He needs to put on so much pressure here as another turret should fall. The satchel charge will be there. Woe just says no. He's going to try to hold the line, but the turret fell anyways. BLG rebuffed the engage from JDG. That's going to be a little bit of mobility from JDG used to try to collapse on the bot side of this fight. Knight's coming over, though, and now JDG, they're starting to get a little bit split. Mega Inferno Bomb almost kills Peyz. They try to take down Bin on the other side with Scout. They return onto On, and they do end up finding the pick.
It's a single pick. It is going to be traded for multiple turrets here. Peyz had no flash during that fight. There's going to be an Otacon spawning on the bottom side of the map. How, Lennon, as JDG, do you walk into Ziggs, Tristana, and Morgana? I don't see it.
You walk out the door and turn around.
Yeah, this needs to be some kind of flank coming on through. We're actually getting the now buffed Horizon focus as well here for this Morgana, so a lot of damage coming in from the jungle. And this Yone pick has done nothing.
That's the unfortunate thing. I mean, I know Scout got, I think, 1 kill last game, but his deaths are starting to rack up in the last 2 games we've seen. As you look at the player goals, fully one-sided for the side of BLG. Don't have this Dragon Prio really set up for either team about 20 seconds out, but BLG with their lead, they can absolutely close the door on this one, get Soul Point, and give themselves so much decision-making power. If they win the fight as well, Atacon could be on the map.
Can JDG actually properly set up for this? You have Maokai ult coming up in like 15, 20 seconds here. You have blue buff being spread around. I think Zhuo's in danger.
He gets the flash out there. Solar Flare went a little bit wide. If he didn't flash, it would have been perfect. Shun stepping up to be this front line. Again, BLG, what they want is they just want to put On, they want to put Bin in front of these carries, and they just want to open up the artillery. As they do end up throwing that Mega Inferno Bomb, there goes Scout with a potential engage. Not going to find it, though. The Chains of Corruption had been used, and that's a lot of utility out of JDG's side. Here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught. Duo was waiting for a perfect angle for the Nature's Grasp, but they aren't taking down Bin. He's still so damn tanky, about half health up, and Atacon is starting to do some work for the team. Knights stepping away, though. That will be Elk getting on the Essex side of this fight, as now it will be On in trouble. Oh my god, Bin! He just flashes forward, decimating smash into a kill, but now sacrifices life. Will go zombie mode as Scout now goes into the back line. That's going to be an escape from him with the Soul Unbound, but Bin is still chunking the back. Peyz finds another kill in the end, and BLG, they've just lost a huge chunk of the advantage they had.
That was an incredibly sloppy fight, and an extended one where Otacon is standing there, 11th man on the field. So many things going right for JDG to keep them in this game, but it is a 6,000 gold deficit that they have to chew through. We're going to get that teleport coming on through from Elk and from On using that spell book. And this should be BLG feeling rather confident to go right back onto this Otacon. Knight's going to spawn in 10 and he'll have TP.
Yeah, still about 6,000 gold up. BLG in no bad form here. They will take down this dragon. It's an Infernal Soul. It's a pretty big marking point for them. JDG know that. They're going to try to move over. Shun is coming down, but he's going to start the Krug, so they're just going to give this one over. The Soul Point to JDG as they start up. There's BLG as they start up the Atacon here, and JDG need an answer.
They have no buttons. There's no Fate Unsealed. There's no Maokai ultimate, at least for 5 seconds here. It's 10 now. I mean, they're backing off. BLG are showing a lot of respect to their opponents, where I think if they had proper timers, if they knew when and how their opponents were going to be able to fight, they should feel confident to draw their opponents towards them.
Atacon's just chasing them. Oh my god. So
why is it there?
As he does reset. Dude, the leash range on Atacon needs to be looked at, as he is going to start back up the fight against JDG this time. Another opponent enters the ring as JDG a hesitant setup as Peyz is instantly going to cleanse out of that Solar Flare and back away from the Mega Inferno Bomb. Atacon is about half health now. BLG trying to find their way in.
Can they get in, though? Elk is on the other side here. No ultimate. Can Beichuan steal? He's doing a lot of damage.
Oh, it's a 50-50. Nature's Grasp has come back up. They're going to wait. The Atacon is resetting. It's leash range. It's gone.
No.
It's going to get 4,000 health back now as a Scout looking for an angle on the Bin. This is a chaotic fight. Decimating Smash going in. Shun sitting in the pit. It's him versus Beichuan. It's going to go to Shun. He takes away the Atacon, but now BLG trying to take the fight after. Big damage coming through from the double artillery of BLG as Elk and Knight, they are stepping up. That's a double kill for Knight himself. And what did Atacon cost JDG? Maybe everything.
There are so many minion waves being dropped across the map for this Otacon. Peyz, oh my god, if he got that kill on On, it would have felt great, but it is Otacon secured there by JDG. I just don't think it means enough here, Lennon, because you still have to be able to fight through this team on the gold differential that has been built off the back of this. Now, you're still gonna have to fight the Infernal Soul every 5 minutes, and in 3 minutes time, we take a look back at this. Beichuan, I think, this Black Shield onto Sion, it blocks out the enchanted or the ultimate from Peyz. It stops a lot of the other crowd control. But Beichuan missing out on this smite. Huge mistake. Oh, 1,300 right there, right into 130. So close, but they're too low. Otacon's already shredded them.
That's the hardest part about this exit, as well as a little bit of that payback coming through. But BLG definitely wanted to capitalize on this situation. They did do so. Now they just stole away seemingly all of the top side from JDG. And the lead still hovering for themselves as they completely focus on this mid lane push. There is another objective in about 2 minutes, 20 seconds for that Dragon. Would be Soul for BLG on Infernal Soul, but there's also this Baron coming up in 30.
What I want to highlight now is before this fight, what we saw was Yone was just Blade of the Rune King and Berserker Greaves. He died the first time around Otacon, and he got himself a Noon Quiver. They win the fight around Otacon, and he gets a pickaxe. Like, the difference in mid lane right now is so pivotal, and Scout and Knight feels like it could have been a matchup in like an alternate era that they are battling for top 2 here in the league throughout the years, but it really has felt like in more recent times, while Scout has been able to be a big carry for his team, 25 has not been the year of the Scout.
Yeah, I mean, he's been down almost a full item this entire time against Knight, and last game didn't look much better either. Knight pulling out the Tristana with this little bit of a wacky comp from BLG. They are making a statement in this game. Still about 1 minute and 20 seconds out from that Dragon. I think JDG are a little bit worried about the burn on the Baron itself, but how does JDG reset for this fight? I mean, this is absolutely the nail in the coffin if they lose this.
It is all about when the damage is done and how. Peyz needs to find timers with these 3 items for the Varus. His poke has to be better than Elk's, and he has to be able to land it more consistently than his opponents. That's what happens when you're in these kind of wars, when you're in these arm races between who can get poked down, who can land more abilities, and you have a Ziggs versus Varus matchup.
Verdant Barrier is doing so much work right now for Elk too, because unfortunately Peyz just can't get damage down. You look back to the decision of this kind of lethality setup for Peyz, not really paying off in these moments, not having that big ticket damage just like Elk is. On the other side, sitting at 5-0 and 6, by the way. The hyper carry is truly online now, almost 3 items in themselves. I love that BLG are just posturing. They're forcing JDG to do something about this setup, and Beichuan will get chunked here. Dragon getting closer and closer to spawning out.
You say that Beichuan gets chunked, he goes over to Baron, he presses W, and he's full HP again. I love Tormented Soil there. We are getting a Nayram for no reason, but it's in the LPL. I don't know what to say.
LPL Ram.
We're getting 5 people. Knight is hitting Dragon right now by himself. This will be the Soul. JDG were not in position for this.
Oh, whoa, just getting popped, and there goes the Mega Inferno Bomb to pop Scout. Just about half health on him. Dragon gone. JDG, no hope in this game, as that's an Infernal Soul over to this artillery comp. And Knight, he's waiting. He wants it. He sees Dwell. He says, you have nothing left. You had flash, but it didn't matter. And he takes down yet another kill in this BLG-centric game.
They're just going to go for this Baron. There's no reason for them to not to. And when they have the Baron, then they can move into these lanes, specifically this mid lane. JDG have been very sloppy with how they've been walking around the map. They have not been tending to their side lanes because Scout is so weak, because Xiaoxu is not a factor in this game. Free Baron, free Soul, free game number 4, and send us to 5 for BLG.
I need it. I need Silver Scrapes in my veins. The first game, the first series, and the first everything, I feel like, for these teams in this tournament. We still have double lives. We still have that lower bracket, but we wanted to see what version of these teams we were going to get. And we were questioning ourselves in those first 2 games. We're like, is this really the BLG that just showed up for the Road to Silver Dragon Cup? And turns out they were just maybe a little bit late to the party. I mean, these 2 last games have been dominant.
Fashionably late. They were like, okay, we'll get there in time. I mean, Shadow, you can have game 1. Beichuan, it's been a while, brother. It's been like 3 months since you've played, like 2.5 months more likely. Just get in there, get your Trundle game out of the way. Let's get the ball rolling for us. Level 16 Morgana here, dude. Highest level in the game. Beichuan, this jungle matchup is really impossible for Sejuani to play, and we talked about who's going to break the shield, because you can't get the knockups for Scout if you have a black shield. you can't get any of the stuns for someone like Duo for it to happen. And they don't have any real frontline outside of this. Aatrox has a ton of HP, and Maokai, who has a Mikhail's.
There's some wild stuff going on right now. Chains of Corruption gets blocked by the Black Shield. We saw ultis going everywhere. We see Elk flashing away from Scout, using the satchel charge as well to get away from him. And I love that JDG are trying things, but they are hitting the wall right now.
Oh boy, that was both the Mikhails from On and also the Black Shield from Matron. Oh no, Knight
Dude,
trying
they're
to look
just
for something.
playing with them. I thought Elk has the rocket jump at this point. He is just using the satchel charge beautifully. And BLG, they're just pulling on the strings of JDG right now.
They need another turret. They need another wave in mid. Elk is going to recall. He's going to teleport back in. He'll probably have finished his Rabadons. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
we are
baby.
watching 3-item Ziggs with, this is what, 125 plus Rabadons plus Ludens. Like, he's close to 600 AP. He's going to one-shot this turret with an auto attack.
Yeah, I mean, he will do that, and he almost just one-shot Peyz with his ultimate. Now we see On just all in, straight onto Scout. And unfortunately, Scout will literally have 1 kill in the last 2 games and a heap of deaths on top of that. Knight has truly had the better end of it, and BLG have had the better end of these last 2 games. I knew it was destiny. We knew it was destiny coming into it. Now BLG just need to put the finishing touches on this decimation of JDG. Elk throws another couple bombs at Duo. He loses all of his health. Peyz can't even hit a piercing arrow, and now On is the target here, but Shun is going to try to get the resets now going for Xiaoxu. A beautiful delayed satchel bomb coming through. They do end up getting Elk after it anyways, but Knight has been tearing them apart the entire time. It's going to be a couple kills going their way, and game number 4 going BLG's way as we crest over to game 5. Silver Scrapes is in the distance, and I'm here for it.
What, like 1 in 13 is what Scout has been in the last 2 games?
It's disgusting.
Tough.
Disgusting.
We saw the first 2 games. They were filled with mistakes from JDG, but it felt like, okay, they could get over it. Scout, man, most impactful player in this series by far, for sure. Whether it's positive or negative, we'll have to still wait and see, but we're going all the way to 5, and JDG will have their chance at 3 blue side games now. Important start for them, whether or not they can turn the tide here and potentially find themselves continuing on in the upper bracket.
The question is, do they go to red side? Like, red side's where they won. They won 2 games starting off the series.
I don't know,
and you gotta think the pools are insane. Like, the pools are going to get dwindled down so much for this game 5. We've seen so many powerful picks already taken off the table, and so many of the rest banned away every single game.
We are for sure getting something very weird in mid lane, because out of all of the champions that we've seen BLG play, they've played every single one except 2. Victor and Cassiopeia now.
Yep.
So we'll see what Knight is going to be playing. Yeah, I guess. I mean, we didn't even think the Tristana was going to come through, and that ended up happening in this draft. So I like that we're getting some experimentation. Remember, this is our first couple games on patch 25.17. Also, we have another best of 5 directly after this. So with the amount of games played within the next 36 hours, we're going to have a lot to study on, and these teams are going to have a lot of information and things that they're going to be thinking about going further for talking about draft.
And that's why we put so much emphasis on this first series for all of our teams, because not only are we getting some teams that haven't played in a little bit, we're getting some teams from the play-ins, obviously, that have played more recently, but you have 2 lives. We want to see what you got in this first step and see if you can kind of actually have that level up, show form, at least to kind of make other teams maybe second guess, maybe second look at you, or see what version of these teams we're going to get. And with the rockiness that we saw, the up and down nature of a lot of that regular season for a lot of our teams, TBH, it was a chance for proving themselves. And this series has been nothing short of a roller coaster. I mean, it has been the highest of highs and the lowest of lows for both sides. And honestly, I wouldn't want to start the playoffs any other way.
We're having fun. This is the first series of playoffs. 18 best of 5s.
So can we please get a good game?
Oh my god. 18 best of 5s between today and the 21st of September. So lock in, everybody. We're going to have a lot of games to be able to play through all of these days in a row, especially for a lot of these teams. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about MVP. I feel like most of it is probably going to be Knight again. If not,
100%.
maybe you give it over to Beitchuan, because I do think that this Morgana is kind of sick nasty.
It was. But I don't know. Yeah. I could see it. I could see it go to Beitchuan. I think Knight gets it, though. I think the Tristana mid. I think it's hilarious that, you know, again, I think this whole story of Beitchuan comes in, plays facilitator, gets his butt beat, and then just goes to Nocturne Morgana and ends up finding game-winning advantages. Just absolutely incredible. And damn that damage from Alk over there on the Ziggs. And first time this split, but hey, it looked damn good.
We got a lot of firsts here. I mean, first time Tristana this split, first time Morgana that we've seen, at least in 1100 days in the jungle. So very, very interesting stuff here going into Game 5. Like you said, the pools will start to get pinched in kind of what happens to AD carry. It's probably going to be more of the same. I'm surprised we've gone through this series with Lucian still up and available, with things like even the Ezreal still ready. I know that Zeri's been a champion that a lot of our marksman players have been kind of biting at the bit, getting ready to pull off in these Game 5s. And so far, I mean, how many... So if we include play-ins, we had 5 games versus FPX and IP, and that was it. That was the only 5-game series.
True.
This is our second one going in for grand
True.
finals, split 3.
Oh, God. Well, here's to more. I want more. I want more Silver Scrapes. Please. It's just the start, but I hope there's a lot more. We have a lot of best of 5s for it to be possible. But what do you chalk up the first games to? Like, do you just walk past it and say nothing happened? Like, I feel like I'm stuck. Like, I'm stuck in the past right now because I want to know what the hell happened for those first 2 games.
They're important, yes. Obviously, we wouldn't be here if those first 2 games don't happen. I know, very, very great analysis. But I think you could still see cracks in JDG's game plan.
Yeah.
Like, there were multiple moments where I think JDG didn't necessarily play the map the best. I know I noted that in game number 1 and game number 2. This Otacon was one of the worst things, I think, as a color caster I could have seen in a long time. We just sat at this Otacon for like 5 minutes. We gave up so many waves, and as JDG, as the team is losing, you're like, damn, I don't really want to give it this Otacon. Well, now you've given up like 3 or 4 waves plus on the opposite sides of the map. We didn't push any of our waves. We lost the dragon beforehand as well, because remember, this starts with them, with BLG taking the dragon. So these first couple games, I feel like we're just JDG maybe taking advantage of a slightly asleep BLG. I don't know. This feels like the JDG I watched in their series versus LGD, which were essentially 2 games away from almost being LGD being able to win.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. But hey, they handled it there. Maybe they can handle it now. I do really, really question what side they're going to choose and what kind of draft they're going to go for, because I was calling it out. I thought this draft was actually pretty stock standard, pretty strong for JDG, but it requires execution, and that was in favor of BLG all away as Knight just absolutely rips through them as the Tristana. I'm still hesitant to decide exactly who gets that MVP, but we'll be giving it away here soon.
It's Knight.
What if Alk gets it,
Knight,
though?
bro.
What if he did 37,000 damage?
Looking at damage is fake, okay? Damage is
Is
fake.
it?
Give it to the player who literally solo killed their opponent in lane.
For 2 games in a row.
Yeah, just give the award to him, man. Just, I don't know. Like, Knight is a generational player. You're only going to see these kinds of talents like maybe once in a lifetime for a lot of players. And Scout, we're counting down the days.
It's generational games too, you know?
Sure, we're counting down the days, man. We're looking back. We're like, oh man, Scout used to be so good. All right, we're giving it to Alk. That's fine though. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He did a lot in this game as well.
He did.
Not my pick, but that's okay.
But that's okay. And you know what? We can sometimes differ. A lot of damage ends up meaning that you get the MVP, I guess, in the end. But it's a BLG who is rocking it right now, Alk. They have gone 2 games in a row of absolutely destroying JDG. JDG have side select for this next one. We'll see which one they get, but they've got to find a leg up somewhere. It all comes down to this. 1 game left between BLG and JDG to move on in the upper bracket. We'll see you after this break.